A landmark decision out of Washington, D.C. today as the Supreme Court overruled Roe v. Wade, ending 50 years of protected federal access to an abortion. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Whitney Ward. In a 5-4 decision this morning, the landmark ruling that has established the constitutional right to abortion in the United States since 1973 was officially overturned. The court's controversial ruling now gives individual states the power to set their own abortion laws. Now, in the wake of this decision, protections, actions, and laws surrounding abortion will change drastically all across the country. So here's a quick idea of what to expect state by state. Right now, nearly half of all states in the nation are on track to outright ban or severely limit abortion access. Some states had laws or constitutional amendments that were already in place, which could then be quickly used to ban abortion as a result of today's decision. 13 states have trigger laws, which have been set to ban abortion immediately if Roe v. Wade was ever overturned. A dozen states could ban abortion after 6 weeks, which abortion rights advocates argue is effectively a ban on the procedure, since most people are unaware they're even pregnant until after that time. Now, abortion will remain legal in the remaining 27 states, though the laws in those states are not uniform either. Now, while abortion currently remains legal in Washington state, that does not mean the state won't see any impacts. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us now live in downtown Spokane to share what the next steps are here in Washington. Amanda?
Yeah, hi Whitney. Here in about an hour or so, we're expecting to see pro-abortion activists gather right here at the Thomas Foley United States Courthouse. Now, they're going to be gathering here to rally against the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. Now, in anticipation for this change, Planned Parenthood has already been making preparations. When the draft opinion was leaked, Planned Parenthood said they expected more than 350% increase in demand for services. They are still expecting this today. So the organization is now making sure it's ready to receive patients from out of state, including Idaho, just 30 minutes away. In addition, they're looking to, in addition to securing additional resources and staff to provide those services, Planned Parenthood is also working to clearly communicate what rights patients have here in Washington state.
So really wanting to make sure that we can accept those patients and making sure that we have providers ready and abortion navigators ready, and just be able to fund that service for people, whether they need lodging or travel stipends or childcare or whatever, making sure that we can help that need.
Now, on the other hand, Washington state bishops are commending the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. I spoke with Bishop Thomas Daly today with the Spokane Diocese. He believes this change is hopeful for our nation. As for next steps, he says the church will continue its efforts in supporting mothers during and after their pregnancy, along with pointing them to the resources and programs the diocese already has in place.
It falls upon the church to be very clear and very supportive of women who may find themselves in a crisis pregnancy, who may feel they have no other options, to show that we will be there to support that woman, that mom, with the child, not just during the time of pregnancy, but beyond.
Now, he went on to say this is a decision they've been praying for, and now that it's come to fruition, he says it's important for the church to be compassionate and make sure their actions match their words. Now, coming back out live here at the federal courthouse, we're going to be tracking the crowd that's expected to gather here again to rally against the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. We'll be giving you updates here as that crowd begins to form here. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. And reactions from every political sphere have been coming in all day long. Here's what Washington Governor Jay Inslee had to say this morning.
We will resist with every ounce of our being any effort by Idaho to intrude in Washington state. We're not going to allow their law enforcement to come in our state. We're not going to violate a woman's right of privacy. We're not going to cooperate. We will have a shield of protection to the extent we possibly can over the women of Idaho. They deserve protection.
reproductive freedom.
Governor Inslee is joining with the governors of California and Oregon now to form a West Coast coalition with the goal of defending access to reproductive health care, including abortion and contraceptives, and committing to protect patients and doctors against efforts by any other state to ban abortion in the West Coast. Now, in Idaho, Governor Brad Little today said he welcomes this long-awaited decision to uphold states' sovereignty. Senator Jim Risch out of Idaho said the Roe v. Wade decision from 1973 got it wrong, and he said today's Supreme Court decision is a step toward righting that wrong. Many Idaho lawmakers praised the state's trigger law, making it automatic that abortion in the state will soon become illegal.
We've known this moment was coming for quite some time. That does not mean that this monumental moment in time is any less shockingly devastating.
Idaho's trigger law regarding abortion was passed just 2 years ago in 2020, officially signed into law by Governor Brad Little. And with today's Supreme Court decision, it was automatically triggered, meaning there is now a 30-day countdown in the state until abortion becomes a felony crime punishable by 2 to 5 years in prison.
The Idaho trigger ban expressly exempts pregnant people from obtaining abortion care. The criminal penalties are imposed on providers who offer care.
There are limited exceptions to Idaho's soon-to-be abortion ban. It will only be allowed in cases of rape or incest, or if it is medically necessary to save a pregnant woman's life. In those cases, a rape or incest victim will have to give a copy of a police report to the doctor performing the abortion. And if it's to save a woman's life, doctors must be able to prove it's more likely than not and in good faith medical judgment necessary to prevent the death of a pregnant woman. Experts, though, worry about who will be impacted most by the new ban.
Once again, our nation's most vulnerable communities, which are communities of color, immigrants, the LGBT communities, young people, people struggling to make ends meet, will be disproportionately impacted by this particular decision.
The law also makes it clear an abortion is not viewed as necessary if a doctor believes the pregnant woman might hurt herself.
It is not exactly clear to me when we're talking about health, safety, life, if we're talking about catastrophic incidents or occurrences, and this type of law could find itself winding its way through Idaho courts.
Now, Idaho Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers say they will continue providing procedures for the next 30 days. After that, they will continue to be a resource, they said, for women in the state, making sure they know their options, even if it comes to traveling to another state like Washington for the care they need. Now, we will continue to bring you updates all night long regarding this landmark decision. For any of the information that we have brought you tonight, you can text the word court to 509-448-2000, and we will send a link right to your phone, and you can always visit us online at KREM.com. All right, let's turn our attention outside. We have made it to the weekend, a beautiful Friday afternoon. Our chief meteorologist is live out there right now as the entire city is getting ready for Hoop Fest. Hi, Jeremy.
Oh, hey, Whitney, and you can feel the buzz, actually. I'm down here, and there's a food court row, so naturally, I found my way there. It's something about food courts and food carts. I don't know. But anyway, it is absolutely gorgeous outside, and believe it or not, we're not even in the 70s, and it feels quite warm outside, and that sets the stage for our Hoop Fest weekend. So let's talk the forecast. Right now, basically at 70. We're just going to go ahead and call it. All right, not technically, but close enough. It is a beautiful, beautiful Friday afternoon out here and downright gorgeous across much of the inland Northwest. Temperatures pretty close to 70. Move out into central Washington, getting close to 80 degrees. It is gorgeous. This, in my opinion, is about as good as it gets. But as we head into the weekend, expect things to really start to heat up. We cool down again tonight. We fall back into the 50s, even find our way into the mid and low 50s across the region. But by tomorrow afternoon, we climb back into the 80s, and that sets the stage for a very hot Sunday. 81 Saturday, 86 on Sunday. It is going to be a downright scorcher. You're downtown, you're on the pavement, you're in between the buildings. Everything's set for this to be yet another hot Hoop Fest. Coming up in just a bit, I'll walk you through the weekend forecast and let you know about an even hotter Monday.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. And of course, the first games for Hoop Fest officially kicking off tomorrow morning. All week we have been bringing you coverage just to make sure you are ready. And when we come back, it continues. We're hearing from the brand new executive director of the event as he talks about what it's like to be back now after 3 years.